Hi everyone, welcome to our weekly podcast, Four Sisters Rambling. Well, actually, it's two pairs of sisters, Monica and Diana, and Veronica and me, Angie.
In this podcast, you'll get to know each one of us and hear our ramblings about life.
We hope you can join us weekly. You can find us on Spotify, iTunes, and YouTube. If you would like to see more of us, please follow us on Instagram at Four Sisters Rambling.
Welcome back, peeps. Thank you for listening. Last week, we talked about our village and important people that shaped us in our life. And Hela, what are we going to talk about this week?
Today, it's a little bit of a heavier episode, I think. We're talking about mental health, so all things related to loneliness, anxiety, stress, all things mental health. So we each cope with stuff differently, so we'll see what we talk about today. But first, let's do our weekly ramble. Veronica, Monica.
Do it. Well, for us over here, we are preparing for a quinceañera, and it's very exciting.
Final stages.
Yeah, it's the final stages.
This weekend.
Yeah,
Yes.
this weekend. It's the big 15 for Miss Alondra. We are so excited for her. Veronica's got to do potatoes, right?
Potato salad.
Potatoes. 2 sheets of
I paid off. I said, you know what? Here's the money. Like, I pay for the food, right? So it's boom. And then I get a call. I'm like, hey, can you make potato salad? I'm like,
Because your cooking is that good.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I was like, Veronica, you got a lot on your plate already. You should really... Wait, potato salad?
It has mayo.
It has mayo, yeah.
Oh, it's like that.
Yeah, but it's okay. I wasn't making it for you. I was making it for like
The guests.
The guests.
Yeah, so...
And it's not a traditional quinceañera in a salon and
Yeah,
everything.
It's in the
gonna be
rancho.
In the rancho, yeah.
Yeah, instead of the change of heels, she's gonna change of boots. Yeah. I know, she's a total
It's
cowgirl.
cute. And is she gonna ride the horse?
Yeah, she's gonna make them dance and all that stuff.
She's gonna do a little thing, it's a surprise.
Because she said escaramucha?
Escaramuza.
Escaramuza. Sorry, I butchered that.
Escaramucha that's a dessert, a Mexican dessert.
Ooh.
Is it?
With ice cream.
Oh, yeah?
I think it is. You're right. With
Yeah.
strawberries?
Yeah.
All right, we're getting sidetracked with this
Yeah, let's not talk about desserts.
Well, my in-laws are coming in for that. It's gonna be the first time Alex's parents meet you guys.
How long have you guys been
Mexican
together?
Like
events.
3 years.
And they're just meeting.
I know, they've been in town before, and I've always figured out a way to not get them to meet the family.
Well, don't feel bad. My dad has not met Monica's dad, and we've been together for
haven't?
12 years.
Oh, no, never.
And they've only met my mother-in-law twice.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's it.
Why is that?
It's
The
because
same reasons you don't want them to be yours. Let's just keep it simple.
Yes. Don't get me wrong. I love my dad. But
Alex called his mom over the weekend. He's like, just so you know, you gotta be expecting like cowboys and all things Mexican at this quinceañera. So it'll be an interesting time.
they're gonna have a blast.
Yeah.
They're really sweet folks, and I think they're gonna have a blast, like you said.
Yeah.
Good. What's your weekly ramble, Diana?
I pet sitted. That's my little second job, my little extra income I do, and other than that, I got my tax money. Woo, everybody who's worked hard throughout the year and pays extra on their taxes. I hope you guys get your refund soon.
What you spending your tax money on?
Paying off some credit card debt. Definitely. It's
We actually that's a bulletin for one of our a beginning of the year resolutions. We're this close to paying one of them off, and it's really exciting.
Oh,
but it sucks
yay.
because Monica cuts me like cold turkey.
Yeah, but we were able to pay off $2,500 in 3 checks.
That's a lot of fucking money.
Yeah.
So I mean, come on, we could be debt free, but we choose not to.
Yeah, we
come
go
on.
to eat. I mean, we still went out to eat this week. We're really
Yeah, we're
bad. We went
bad.
out to eat like 3 times this week.
I know.
Imagine like every time we're out to eat, it's like $60. So that could have been extra and like paying off the cards, and stuff like that.
We got our tax refund, and Alex bought me a new phone one day.
Oh, that's
New phone,
nice.
who dis?
Yeah, but why? Why did he buy you a phone? Tell
Because-
everybody like your resolution. You were talking about
he was
it.
proud of me for paying off, because remember he lent me like $14,000 to pay off my student loans, and then I was paying him, and I finally finished paying that off. Ooh, and he said he was just proud of me. And
Aw.
I thought it was so sweet. He said he went to the Apple store to buy the phone, and that they're like, oh, Valentine's gift? And he's like, no, it's like a pay off student loan gift. And that the guy was like, oh, that gives me hope. Like that people are actually paying theirs off.
Yeah.
So. But he finished his last month, so I'm very
And what
proud
did you
of
get him?
I love my unconditional
No,
love.
I'm just saying,
Wow. Making me look
give him a
like
little extra
stuff.
love. So funny. So my weekly, are you guys done?
Oh yeah, we're done.
Wait,
You guys?
didn't you go already? I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
Wow. And then you guys wonder why I have dark humor. People like her.
What's your weekly ramble?
My weekly ramble. My wife is laughing at me hard.
It's because I thought you both did yours
No,
together.
we- I work. I hardly see her.
Okay, what's your weekly ramble?
I started my period and it was horrible.
I
was
miss that.
cramping. Ugh, it was nasty. I cried, but I stuck it through.
You
I worked.
cried?
No, I didn't cry.
Oh.
I stuck it through. You know, when I'm sitting there, I'm just like, fuck, man. Like, just get it over with, you know, and but anyways, so I just still been really busy at work. We're also getting ready for the quinceañera. That's part of it, but not all of it. My wife is laughing. And yeah, that's all.
For your period stuff, I mean, all of us had really, really bad periods ever since I went on birth control. It's like
I
the
agree.
best
But doesn't
thing I
that make
ever-
you like chubbier?
No, look
Do
at
I
me.
look chubbier?
Well, you had an $187,000 surgery.
That's different. It was worth it. It was worth every penny. Thank you, insurance. I hope insurance covers all of it. That's what my hope is.
It doesn't make I don't think it depends like on different
Yeah.
people, but for me it cleared up my skin. It has not right now. Don't look at my skin right now. But for the most part, it's been good,
Yeah.
and it's like I get my period for like 1 or 2 days a week. No symptoms, no backache, nothing. It's like,
Well,
man,
Let's talk about periods next week.
Yeah,
I mean,
everybody disappears. Well, for me, I feel like if I go to the gym and I work out like constantly and I'm drinking enough liquids like water or coconut water, it doesn't like hurt. But I feel like since I finished being sick, I wasn't really hydrated, and I feel like that kind of took me down because like I started getting better because I was really sick last week. So
Yeah.
I feel like it was like that, and then it slid into me starting my menstrual.
Yeah.
And it was horrible. It was just bad. And my boss is like, "Are you okay? You don't look so good." And I was like, "Oh, she's here." And he looked to me like, "Who?" And I was like, "She's here." And he's like, "Oh,
It's all awkward.
do you want to go home?" And I'm like, "No, I'm gonna stick it through." And he goes, "Are you sure?" I'm like, he was just so awkward.
Yeah.
And I was just like, "No, I'm gonna stick it through, and I will deal with it. Don't worry." Like
I hate it
you know.
because it's such a weird topic. Like at work, when you are sick from it, you
Yeah.
can't just be like, "Oh yeah, you know, I'm on my period."
Oh,
I mean, if you work with
very
women,
vocal.
if you work with women, it's fine. But like with men,
No.
they get really awkward.
I tell my doctor, and I'm like, I need a moment, doctor. This is, I'm on period, and I gotta go.
Yeah, but he's really understanding. He's such a sweet guy.
Aw.
Yeah, my boss is trying to say he's understanding, but he's also professional. And he's like, "Oh, like I know it's normal because like my wife, like she's a female too." So and then I'm like, "Okay, it's like he tries to be so like supportive of it. It's like,
Aw.
"Oh, well, I have pills upstairs. You want some pills?" And I'm like,
No.
"I got it." He's like, "You want to
Tries
go
to be
home early?"
understanding.
Yeah. So
Well, let's get started on our topic today. Who wants to start?
So mental health includes our emotional, physical. I'm sorry, I can't say that word. Psychological.
She's reading the definition, guys.
No, I'm just it's because I wrote it down. I did like some
Yeah.
homework.
Is it
My homework. It's my homework, guys. Can you please edit this?
I think it looks like psychological.
Yeah, it's psychological and social well-being. It affects how we think, feel, and act. So, with that said, how is that you guys act when you guys feel like you guys are being drained?
That's a good one.
I always want to cry.
You shut down,
Not like I cry.
like physically cry.
Yeah.
When you're overwhelmed,
Uh-huh.
or really.
Yeah, like I can't hold it in. Like my eyes get immediately red, and then I want to cry.
Yeah, I think I'm a crier too.
Are you?
Yeah.
Mhm, I'm definitely a crier.
I've never seen you cry.
I'm going to share this. I just had an anxiety attack
She
not so
did.
long ago in front of
Last
Beto,
week on
and it was bad.
Tuesday night.
Why the quinceañera stuff?
No, it was actually because I'm doing this thing where I'm trying to drive now, right? Because you guys know
She has her
yeah.
license.
I do have my license. I know how to drive basic, going here and there. We were gonna go eat pho, and
We're gonna be bad, and we're gonna go eat pho.
and I decided that I wanted to go to the one that's close to home. I'll drive, but the one close to home. Veronica being very supportive. She was like, no, you can go to the next one, the
Yeah.
one a little further out. I was like, I don't know if I can do it. I was like, I'm a little nervous. No, you got this. So I'm
Yeah.
like, okay. So we go. I get there. I make it there. I'm trying to park, and I always park really far because I get like even just
You don't wanna be
reliving
next to other
the
cars.
idea makes me is bringing back like that feeling of anxiety. But so Veronica's like, no, park right here. It was such a tight squeeze that I was like, no, I can't do it. And she's like, just go. And I was like, okay.
But I wasn't yelling. I was trying to be really calm with her.
She was trying to be calm, but she wasn't calm in my mind because I felt like I was already with a lot of pressure.
Were there cars around you, like trying to get by? Or,
yes, there were. You know,
well, there was only that one.
That truck that I wanted to park a little bit further, but she was like, "No, just go. You can do this. You have to open yourself up and do all, the parking." So then I made it. I parked. I was like, "Okay, I'm good." She's like, "No, now reverse and fix yourself."
Yeah.
And I was like, "I can't do that, Veronica.
You're like my dad times 3.
I was like, I can't do that."
And remember that one time you drove? You were young. It was in the Jeep. And Monica was driving, and me and Vero were like backseat drivers. Monica almost killed us.
Yeah, I ran. I drove the car off all the way to the other side.
We were on the right lane, and she was gonna do a left turn, and that's 3 lanes in between. And she basically just went from the right to do a left turn. Like 3 lanes.
All the lanes in between.
Yeah. And it was a green light for everybody.
It was on Encanto and 67th Avenue.
And we almost got hit.
That,
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
15 years ago, it was that.
But you're starting off right, just driving small distances,
That's what I
parking
said.
far, baby steps.
Yeah. Well, the thing was that she was trying to park somewhere, and like it's next to like this medical office or something, and there's this like if you park there, you're not there, you're gonna get towed away. So I was like, oh, I don't want to get towed because it's still early. It was a little bit earlier, and the lights were still on. So I was like, no, just go that way. There was like nobody in there like moving. So I was like, just park right here. And she parked, but she was a little like tilted to the side. And I was like, if that car leaves and somebody else comes and they also park like that, they're gonna like hit our car or we're gonna hit them. So just like reverse a little. And I felt, and I know how I could get really frustrated with her. I was trying to like say it to her like really calm, but she told me that she heard me like kind of like
well, especially if you're having like anxiety, you're probably your blood's like boiling a little bit, your heart's beating a little bit faster.
So she basically was like she was just like, I saw her like, I was like, oh shit, like I didn't like, it went to me, it was like, oh fuck, and then I guess it was just building up to her. But I didn't realize that she was feeling like that until I saw her like her eyes get all teary, and that's when I know like, oh fuck. So that's just like, no, like, it's okay, calm down. Like,
yeah,
so
it was really bad.
Have you had a panic attack like that before?
I have, but mostly in private, like to myself. But that day, I was even shook just reliving him. Oh my God, those feelings. Oh my God.
So, I wasn't, the reason why she drove was because it was that week that I was sick. And I wasn't really feeling well. So she's like, oh, maybe I could just drive us there. And she wanted to drive the one next to the house, but I was like, no, let's go to the other one because the other one tastes much better. I just like the other one better. She does too. But she was just trying to go to this one that was closest. Yeah, but like I didn't capture that because she's driven before, she drove from like Yuma to here, but she's like, it's different because it's like freeways, there's no like lights,
it's empty. It's empty.
So that's where I have to understand that, like, oh shit, like this is more than just her not wanting to drive. It has to go into like deeper, So
but little by little, you'll get there.
She did good.
I did good.
I ended up calming her down, and I took the streets all the way down to downtown, and we went to Rice Paper on 7th Street and like Oak.
That place.
It's really good. But I was like, just calm down, relax, like just. And she explained to me everything.
Yeah, I tried to voice how I was feeling because she wasn't understanding, and I was like getting really flustered because she didn't understand that the idea, like I was already built up this emotion from just driving from A to B, and she's like,
I just didn't get it.
Yeah, and she got a little upset and slammed the door, and that heightened my fucking anxiety so much, and I was like, oh, it was really bad, but I'm better. I just know
we talk
that.
through, and every time we have any issues like that, we try to like I try to listen to what she says, and I just kind of like nod my head because she likes me just to listen and doesn't like it when I interrupt.
What's that thing you guys say that you like Veronica to something your feelings
Validate.
Yes.
Yeah, and I do, and whenever I see her cry, like that like kills me inside. So I always try to like run around her and try to make sure like she's taken care of. So I was like, no, we're not gonna go home because first I don't feel good, and if we go home, we're just gonna like go out.
Oh, you guys didn't even get off any fun there. Then.
No,
that's
I drove.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
because she's not gonna, after she cries, and like whenever she does happen to cry in the vehicle for whatever reason, she doesn't like to like get off because obviously she's light skinned, and you could see her eyes and stuff.
Sounds like
so.
you're making her cry a lot. How many
No, I
times in
don't.
the vehicle are you crying?
No, it's because like every time we have issues, that we go for a drive.
Yeah,
that's
we do a drive.
That's one of my like mental health like release.
That's
like,
how you cope.
That's how I go, and we like if we have anything's going on, maybe let's get in the car and then we drive, and that's how we calm ourselves down, and we're not yelling or anything because we don't want to be like that.
Yeah.
So that was really different for me though, because I was like, well, you've driven before. I just didn't like put one and one together, and I was trying to like make it up to her, and I was making her laugh like when we got over there, and trying to
With
like
your dad jokes.
Yeah.
with her dad jokes.
yeah.
But that's
Have you ever had
happened
a
to me.
panic attack
Yeah, actually, and it's not funny.
or anxiety attack?
And so, okay, so when like Donald Trump won the elections in 2016, I was I couldn't sleep at all. I couldn't eat. I was at work and I was just like zombie mode. Like I was just in and out. I just didn't understand what was going to happen to me because I had no control over anything. So that was Monica actually was like, you have to like relax, you have to like come down. I couldn't do anything without freaking out. I would like go to sleep really late and wake up really early, and it was just like my body was just like almost like leaving my soul. Like my soul was leaving my body. It was like I wasn't there anymore, and I remember like how do I get like puking? Like I would try to like throw up, but I couldn't.
It's like dry heaving.
Yeah, and it was really bad, and I was shaking all the time. It was horrible. It was
How'd
really
you
bad.
make it through that?
Monica recommended me to start reading like self-help books, and that's
yes,
how
I
I
remember.
started. That's
Yes.
how I started reading all kinds of books, and then I started reading like Eat to Live and stuff like that. Just things that would like occupy my brain with things that were not with knowledge rather than with like worries, because that was a big worry of mine, because I'm a DACA recipient. So when that happened, I was like, oh God, like what am I gonna do?
Do you find, like, I know for me, especially with DACA news, immigration stuff, whenever I see it on the news a lot, I start stressing out a lot.
Yeah.
Do you find that you try not to look at the news? Or
No, I go.
Yeah, she goes.
I read. I
She
start
goes in
reading
deep.
because I just start reading, and I tell myself like there's doctors out there that are DACA recipients. There's lawyers out there. There's no way that I don't have any like criminal background or anything. I don't do anything that's criminalizing. So for me, for them to be like, oh, you're out, it's kind of like it's
unrational?
yeah, it's like, why? No, like I'm doing everything, I like to help others, so it's like why? So then I just want to make sure that I read any like new updates on it, and I just try to keep, but I don't
Stay informed.
yeah, but I try not for it not to affect me like how it used to, because it was not a good time for me. It was just one of those things where I noticed that I will be driving in the freeway, and then I'll be like, oh well, what if I swerve my car right now? It'll just all end, and I don't have to worry about it anymore, because it was one of those.
See, like that. I know I panicked. There was definitely some stress, but it was never to the point where I was like having the shakes or anything. I was really stressed out, but it got to the point where I was like, it got to the point where I just didn't care. I'm like, well, if I get kicked out, well, I'll go freaking make. In Mexico, if you speak English and you got a degree from the U.S.
You said, I think you even said you were trying to be a dentist in Mexico.
Yeah, I was like, I'll just go be a dentist in Mexico.
Yeah.
Like, to me, it was just like, what can we do? Like, there's no point worrying about this,
That's true.
And I think back to that saying we talked about last weekend, this too shall pass. So I was like, okay, if something happens, then we just roll with the punches.
Yeah, and I feel like as a immigrants always learn to survive one way or another. So if we
We're
were
very like adaptable.
Yeah,
We
so like
just
if
adapt
that
to
were to
situation.
happen, if anything, like Monica's parents have said like my home, it's here for you. So if anything were to happen, you can come over here and do whatever but I'm not worried for me. I'm worried for like all of you guys, all of my sisters. Like Vanya is in such a good positive spot right now. My youngest sister used to be really negative. You guys remember how she would be,
Yeah.
I think Vanya has a history of depression.
Yeah, and it all started because growing up without a mom, and my dad was extremely rejectful towards her. My stepmom was like the most rejected person that she had in her life. So for her to go from like nobody wants me, she'll be crying all the time, to where she's at right now. We were with her this past weekend, and she's laughing. She has a stepson. Her boyfriend has a son, and then that that kid loves her. You know, she's always
in a
like,
good spot.
she's always laughing. She's such a happy individual now. Then my sister would say something like, oh, somebody dropped my Starbucks but gave me $10, and like Vanya would respond like, oh, well, at least it was $10. You know, look at the price that he paid for both, for
She's
two.
like more optimistic.
Yeah, and I love that. And for her seeing how she was then and how she is now, it makes me feel more at ease. But I feel like if anything were to happen to our DACA situation, like that would like retrieve her to be, you know, depressed and why am I here for? Because she was almost suicidal. You know, I always fear that would happen, because Monica would like tippy toe around her too, make sure that she was good, and we're always checking up on her.
She was a time bomb before.
Yeah.
But teenagers are, I
That's
think.
true.
You know,
Time bombs.
now she's
But I
more
feel like with her it was
adultish.
like longer. It wasn't just
I
like
agree.
her
It
like
started
teens.
early. She
Yeah.
started early with it.
Yeah.
I agree. What about you, Diana? How do you deal with anxiety? Have you had an anxiety attack before?
I'm like, kind of had an anxiety attack before. I haven't had like, I guess when I start crying, like that's when I feel like I do get anxious, because then I can't stop. And I'm like, I just can't stop crying. And I don't know.
What does your anxiousness usually come from? Is it work related,
It's usually
family,
anger. It's usually like a form of anger. Like, I don't know, I don't think I know how to deal with my anger. So it's normally I'm really angry.
Yeah.
And like, it's like uncontrollable.
Just out of
like I'm
nowhere.
gonna quit my job. Like I don't give a shit anymore.
I'll go to Mexico.
Yeah, I'm about to run this person over. Like I want this person to die, or like something like that. Like
And
it's angry.
It's funny
Yeah.
because you're the least angry person I know.
I don't know why I can't. Like I was like, maybe I need to see a psychologist, because then like I can't breathe because I'm like crying so hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess the only way that I found that I could calm myself down is just removing myself completely from the situation. But it's mostly geared like around anger.
Yeah.
Like I have no other way of like
Expressing
yeah,
it.
like I don't know how people can, you know, like if I'm gonna start, like that's how I avoid confrontation. I try to avoid confrontation because it's gonna make me angry, and my emotions go straight to my eyes. Like there's just no way. My eyes become very red. I get teary eyed, and then like that triggers the other person to be like, maybe most likely say like, why are you crying? And then I'm like, oh, because I fucking want to cry. I don't know, like, you know, like, and that's how I feel like I always end up in the back of a dumpster crying on the floor.
Darn.
You're so funny.
You know, I think that's where most of my anxiety is I don't know how to deal with my anger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like everyone should see a therapist.
I
If
agree.
it
Yes.
feels affordable and everyone has access to it, I think everyone could benefit from it.
I think when I was
agree.
little, I wasn't allowed to be very angry. I don't know. Like, I really don't know why this
girl.
comes from. Yeah, because, like, you know, people can really talk back to, like, really defend themselves. And I feel like if I do, like, it will
like
cause a
hiccups.
confrontation. That would be me.
That's so funny. What about you, Hela? Have you ever had
I've never had a full-blown anxiety attack, but I've had the Sunday scaries, where it's like Monday's
I've never heard of
coming.
that.
The Sunday scaries, a lot of people have them. It's like Monday is coming, it's Sunday night at like 8 p.m. and you're thinking about like all the stuff you have to do this week, all the people you have to interact with, and like
Oh, really?
and like I get them really bad even now. And I thought maybe it was work related because my job stresses me out so much. Like Sunday night, I'm just like, your stomach kind of shrivels up and you're just
Really?
like,
I've had that feeling, but when I was in high school, like fuck
Maybe-
the first day of school, I was like, hell
see?
no.
Maybe you got like the Sunday scaries with school.
that's
But it's a very real thing.
I don't feel like that.
Interesting.
I've had it
You love your
before
job.
when I know it's gonna be like a stressful week at work, and that's another thing that I'm working on. My boss told me that I do too much at work, so he's like, you need to calm down. You know, you're stretching yourself too thin, and I want you to be stronger in these areas, and don't worry about that over there. You don't have to worry about it. I was like, but who's gonna take care of it? He's like, then tell someone to take care of it. You don't do it. So I'm learning right now to be less stressful at work. I don't know if you've noticed that I try not to, like, I still work from home sometimes. Like, people are always texting me,
Yeah.
but it's
Or
more
calling.
like, or calling me.
That's
Like,
major
they're
one.
always calling me, you know, but it's more like, you know, more like I don't try to get like anxious about, and I
Yeah.
don't try to worry so much about it, because my boss said that I'm not good to him if I'm not there like fully
Like, mentally, like 100%.
mentally there. Yeah. So
Yeah.
he's like, you need to calm down, everything's gonna be fine. it's kind of like what you said, this too shall pass. You know, like the shift is gonna be over. Just work shift for shift. The thing is with me is like I try to get everything done, like everything that I can as possible. You know, he's like, no, just stop, just calm down.
See,
like,
my thing, there's some stuff at work that I don't have any control over that drives me crazy. Like I had a patient that came in and her gum health, her teeth, they were just in really bad condition, and I needed to do her cleaning. I was like, no, you need to go see someone else. Like, this is too much, like too hard for me. You need to go see a specialist. Doctor's like, no, you can do it. So I do it. And then this patient's in pain first. She comes back crying. She's in pain. She can't sleep. She's taking days off work. And I'm like, for a whole week, I'm like at home, like thinking about her. I'm like, oh, she's in pain.
Oh,
all
I
this
know
stuff.
people like that.
It's just like, there's stuff that I feel like I can't just clock out. And I'm sure with you guys too, you feel like you just can't clock out and go home and not think about work. There's certain scenarios where like I take it home with me. And then also for me, it's like I always have in the back of my head, like we really deal with like lawsuits a lot. So you always want to make sure that you don't get sued over anything. So I'm like, oh, did I document on her chart that I told her that she needed to go see someone else and that she didn't want to? Like, I'm always thinking about all these situations. Yeah. And always thinking, I'm like, am I going to get sued for this? Am I going to get sued for that? It's just like, I feel like the line of work I'm in is just too like mentally draining and stressful. That's where my Sunday scaries come from. Like,
so for you though, since you're not like the main person there, and you could always go back to the dentist and refer to them like, hey, listen, this is where I'm at. You should always go back like, hey, this is what I told her. Is this good? Like, just have somebody else double check your work. That's another set of eyes in your documentation, and that way you know for sure before you go home, like, okay, like if anything, like I told my dentist and he knows or she's aware or whatever.
Yeah, and that's a really good thing. Like, I try to do that because someone else mentioned to me like the same advice. The sucky part is that we're still liable. Like, even if
you're still gonna go to the board.
Mm-hmm. Even and the other sucky thing is if you're working for a really incompetent dentist that doesn't know what to do. Like, say I'm like, hey, dentist, I can't do this cleaning. It's too severe. Like, I can't do it. And if they tell me you have to do it, I have to do it. Because if I tell the patient like, hey, no, I can't do it and send them somewhere else, I could get sued for not following the dentist's orders. But say I do that cleaning and I don't do a good job and the patient ends up losing their teeth, I get sued for doing the cleaning.
Yeah.
Wow. So there's
it's just really stressful, and I feel like I find myself, because of all that stress, I find myself like looking into different careers a lot of the time.
That's what stopped me from being a veterinarian.
Really, just like the liability.
Yeah, you're gonna take work home every day. Like I am very good about clocking out. Like, once I'm done, I'm like, okay, I'm out. Like, I'm back to my regular life. Like, I don't think about the 4 animals I euthanized today. Like, I don't know. Like, yesterday, I know, it's just, yesterday was this bunny that the doctor brought in, and the bunny, it was gonna die. Like, I saw it, and I saw its wounds, and I'm like, this bunny's gonna die. It was like a stray bunny that got attacked by cats. And my other coworker, she kind of ended up taking over for it because we were checking in, like, other patients, and I was kind of stuck doing other things, and she was kind of ended up taking care of it and keeping them warm and stuff. The bunny ended up dying. And so she was really, she has a hard time still. She's still a newbie tech, like, really like being okay with that the bunny died. And me, I'm like, I died.
So
and like
cold.
I am so cold about it. I feel like an asshole, because
that's probably good for your mental health.
I think it is. I really don't. I try not to, because there's some shit that really probably can fuck people up. And like, I have coworkers that have been doing this for a very long time, and they can't stop thinking about things, and it eats at them and what people say or people do, and we have licenses too, like, don't ask me what to give your dog a Benadryl dose. I can't fucking tell you. I can't legally. I can't. But I mean, if I have a patient, there's rules, and then I can tell you, follow my rules. But no, why are you going to follow the rules? Because I have a fucking license, that's why.
And you work your whole life to like earn this license, or for like this position that you're in.
Yeah.
And you're like, anything, like, I'm sure at work, but you probably get stressed out if like there's a crazy customer that's like,
Yeah.
because you're like, I worked so hard to get to this like manager position and I can lose it all over like,
Because but the thing is with us, it's like your management is so strong that they know how you operate. And if this person, comes in like this, we had this lady supposedly from like New Zealand or I don't know where, she was flying back. She called us and said, hey, I ordered to go filet medium, well done, and it was medium and I got really sick from it, I want a refund. And then the other manager was like, well, you have to come back Monday because that's when the general manager is in. And I heard it and I went down and I spoke to somebody that worked the broiler the night before and I was like, hey, did anybody order this well done filet to go? And he's like, no, the only one to go was like 2 other orders and it wasn't that. And I was like, okay. And then I was like, well, why was this girl say that she got sick from it was medium, she said, or medium rare. If she knew it was medium rare, why didn't she like return it or like, taking it back? Because you could tell the difference from a well done to medium rare. It's really obvious, especially if you like your shit well done, you have to check like,
Oh, like me, I like everything well done. If I cut into something and it's even a little pink,
you send it back. Yeah. So
I like them kicking.
Yeah. So that was that, and it's one of those things where she could easily gone in and put a review and say, hey, this restaurant the manager that didn't take me for serious. But it's like, no, we did our homework and you're lying. You're basically trying to get $100 for
refunded.
Yeah, which is not gonna happen.
Yeah.
So you also have to have like that group of like managers or teams around you that know how you work and they support you 100%. But if you have somebody that works with you and it's not like helping you, then you're basically alone, and that could be really dangerous.
Well, I feel like when you have a good work group
Support
of people,
system.
then like you love your job. You have a great doctor, great coworkers.
We know the crazies.
I feel like it helps so much with stress at work. Like if your work environment is
work
great.
family.
Yeah.
It's good to have a work
but
family.
for you, you're the one on the line.
You don't have a work family. A little mini work family?
It's mini, but it's been hard. The dental field is no
But it pays your debt off.
Yeah.
Monica, I have a question for you since we're on the mental health topic.
Okay.
I have loneliness highlighted, and I wanted to ask because you're a stay-at-home wifey.
Yeah.
Do you ever feel like you get lonely?
No, I
Really?
don't. I feel lonelier when someone's at home with me. I know. Like right now that I have my brother at home, it's like, well, maybe it's not loneliness, but I don't like it.
I always tell her like, how do you do it? And she goes, I just love me time.
I love, it's me. Like, I like being by myself. I think it's mainly because I've always had people around me, and now that I'm by myself, it's like,
I was asking people at work, like, hey, how do you deal with your mental health? How do you like keep it strong? And my boss, and same like me, gym. Like I love a good sweat, like that keeps me going. The other manager, he was telling me, he's like, that's where he has a lot of going on. Like he's the general manager, so he like it's heavy for him. He has a whole restaurant. He's like running bike, mounting, because he does mountain biking. So he's like all that stuff, like just you go out there, you get thrown by the rocks, and you
like
enjoy it.
going,
and that helps. And I was telling my other coworker, and she's just like, I go out shopping by myself, or if I don't do that, I go home and I clean. And Monica,
I clean too. Yeah.
So
that's like relaxing.
Yeah, it's relaxing. You put on some music and you just clean. I like that. Yeah, it feels nicer that way, I feel like. But I don't know why. Why are you asking about loneliness? You feeling lonely right now?
A little? Okay. No, because anytime, I try not to work as much. So sometimes I'll take like 3 days off in a row, or, I've done it a couple of times. And like the first day is like great. I do like a face mask. I listen to music. It's like a self-care day.
Yeah.
The second day I'm like, I'm a little bored. The third day I'm going crazy. I'm like texting you like, Monica, you want to go get coffee?
You're so funny.
Or like I just go crazy just being.
But you know what? Now that you're saying that, your sister, our sister Cecilia, lives right around the corner. She's there almost every day.
So if you can contact her.
Yeah, so I feel like I'm not that lonely, and you're pretty far. You're far. You're isolated.
I feel like I have to drive like 30 minutes to like see anyone or do anything.
Maybe that's what adds to your loneliness.
Yeah.
I have everybody around me really close, so.
And she doesn't want them.
That's true. You want to take someone? Go for it.
Monica's a big fan of call before you come over.
Oh yeah,
which
definitely.
I think that's a good.
I think anybody deserves that. My boss was telling me, he was like, yeah, my whomever went over and they just opened the door, and I was like, whoa, buddy, like you gotta call.
Yeah.
Like no matter how close you are, even if you're family, like call.
You know, but
I mean,
agree.
definitely give a heads up.
Yeah.
When we used to live with our dads, you know, everybody would just show up. Like there was like no call. Like the door was open 24/7.
People would just walk in.
Yeah, people like they actually found like a kid like passed out, drugged up in the sofa.
Oh yeah, I remember that story. Yeah.
So like, and we're like, who's this kid? And they're like, oh, it's just the neighbor kid. You know,
just walked in and
well, it's kind of good that he felt safe to sleep there, I guess. So it's not good for like the family, you know.
Yeah.
So I do have here early warnings of like mental health. So eating or sleeping too much or too little. I was experiencing that when I was going through that. Staying away, like just kind of be lonely, like. And so when Monica says she loves being lonely, I'm like, oh. But that's just her persona. Early warning stuff. Low energy.
That's so funny.
Low energy is another one. Feeling numb, hopeless, and helpless. That's another one. And fighting. If you find yourself fighting a little bit more, you might want to look back into it. And or hurting yourself. When you start cutting yourself or
even like not physically, right? Like saying like talking down to yourself. I feel like that's a form of hurting yourself.
That's true.
I had that issue growing up. People always when you have like the I don't know. I feel like everybody knows that person that they're always like the kids that nobody wants. Like that was us, like nobody really like wanted us, and people will always talk down to those kids like us. Mm-hmm. So for people that were always like talking down to us and not wanting us around, or always just throwing shade at us, I feel like that in a way affected me now, because what do you say, like I have self-doubt. I always doubt myself, and I could do something incredibly great and they're like, oh my god, good job, and I'm like, oh well, I could have done better, or I could have done like this, or I don't think it's that good, or especially in like cooking, like when I cook and I do something, everybody's like, oh my god, this is so good.
And we always especially Alex, he's always like, oh, is Veronica like making food, or like everyone loves your cooking, and
it's like, oh, I don't know, I could have done, like I don't find the value in there. And that's another thing my boss was, because he's my mentor, and I do speak to him. I speak about him a lot because he does mentor me through life, and he's just telling me like, you have to take more credit, you're more valuable than you think, blah blah. But I feel like that kind of I got that growing up, because my dad will also tell me, growing up, like, oh, you're just a little show off, or you don't know what you're doing, or you just always talk down to us. And I feel like that kind of imprinted in me, and that's one of my faults that I'm trying to like redirect it somewhere like that, where I know that I am worth that, and I am
like I accept the praise. Like if someone tells you like, oh, this dish is delicious, thank you.
That's
it. You don't even have to.
But it's so hard. And Monica, when we started dating, she was like, oh, you're so beautiful, and I'm like no, like don't say that. And she was telling me like, all you have to say is thank you. That's all you have to say.
You're a hot lesbian.
Vero is a hot lesbian.
But Monica is always telling me stuff like that. See, like I can't accept it. But it's one of those things where I just can't like take the positive like push. And I don't know if you have that issue, but Hella's self-esteem,
I'll take it.
Hella's self-esteem is good, but I feel like that's my issue. Like,
I have good self-esteem, but I have I think the biggest thing I deal with like is imposter syndrome, where it's kind of like self-doubt, but where I'm like, it's hard to explain. Like, okay, I'm a dental hygienist, but I still sometimes don't feel like I know that I know what I'm doing. Mm-hmm. But sometimes I feel like I'm an imposter,
That's how I feel.
It's hard to like.
That's how I feel.
Like you follow somebody?
What do you mean?
Like
look it up right now.
imposter syndrome. It's like you don't feel like you're good enough to do what you do, or like
you
I'm
know
thinking
it.
about like copying somebody in your life that you kind of saw them.
No, it's more like say Monica with her YouTube channel.
Okay.
She's a YouTuber, but maybe she's like, I'm not good enough to be a
Yeah.
YouTuber. Like I'm not a YouTuber. Like I'm not. Or Veronica being like a manager
That's exactly
or
what
sous
mine
chef.
is. Yeah.
Yeah, you got imposter syndrome.
I sometimes think I do. I swear. That's why I'm like, oh, because you know you're good, but it's like you have that almost self doubt.
You have that internal self doubt.
Yeah.
And maybe it's like Veronica was saying, it
I
just
think
got
we all got a
ingrained.
little bit of that.
So I have we hire new people at work, right? And one of them, he's an older gentleman. He's been in the kitchen for like so long, and everybody calls me Vero or Veronica, you know. But this guy went in, and he's not the first guy that has called me that, but there's a couple of other guys that kind of go in and out. People that have worked in the kitchen for a long time, but like, oh, hey chef, good morning chef, how are you chef? And they call me chef, and it's like, no, I'm not the chef, like the chef's over there. And I, you know, like this other guy went in, drop off an order, and he goes, hi chef, how are you? How's your day going? Blah blah. And I'm like, oh, the chef's over there. And the chef's like, no, you take care of it. And I'm like, what? And he's like, and after the person left, he's like, you don't understand, like that's a form of respect, you know, because you're his boss, you're her boss, so they're just basically showing you respect. And I'm like, yeah chef, but I'm not a chef, like I'm not a chef. He's like, then what the fuck are you doing here, you know? And it's like, okay, but he's like, you have to learn to like just accept what you are, and you just can't like not. But I feel like
easier said than done though.
yeah, it's really hard.
Like you tell me like, sister, you're a great blah blah. You do so good at your work and blah blah. But then you can't do the same.
I can't do that for myself, because it's like, oh, you know, because to me it's like, oh, I'm just a dishwasher. Like that's how I see myself. Like, oh, it's just a dishwasher or just a prep person. Like something like lower.
I feel like I have a little.
You found the
imposter-
definition.
Yeah.
What is it?
It's imposter syndrome can be defined as a collection of feelings of inadequacy that persist despite evident success.
Perfect.
Imposters suffer from chronic self-doubt.
Perfect. That's perfect.
Yeah.
For me, like
But no, I don't have it that bad.
no, just a little. Like some
yeah, I
people,
definitely have a little.
Because I know, like I said, I feel great at my job. I know I'm adequate. Like I know how to do my job. But sometimes I'm like, it's just I had an incident that really like shook me at work, where I was doing anesthetic on an older gentleman. And I said, have you been numbed before? And he was like, yes, I have. I was like, okay, you know, I explained to him, you're going to feel a little burn, blah, blah. And I started giving him an injection, and he had a stroke in the chair. He just like started shaking, his eyes rolled back, he went pale, and I started like, this is
so
the first
freaky.
time it ever happened to me. And, you know, we called the paramedics. They said I did everything correctly. Like, it wasn't anything I did. He just
it
happened
was
to
you.
have a stroke
on your
at that
chair.
exact same time that I was giving him an injection. And after that, I felt so inadequate. I was like, do I not know how to numb? Did I hit a nerve? Like, and that's when
You start
feel like
questioning yourself.
Yeah.
that for a while, like anytime before I numb someone, my hands would start shaking so bad. I'd have to like do breathing exercises before
That's so hard.
It took me like 6 months to get over
I
it.
get it.
You know, when like for me, my mentor told me, if you make a decision and if it's the wrong decision, you have to stick with it and you have to keep going, because if you try to change it, you're always gonna doubt yourself. So he's like, if that's what he's like, what are you gonna do? And I'm like, well, I'm gonna do this. Okay, you're sticking to that. You're not gonna change back, because if you change back, you're telling yourself that you did wrong, and you're always gonna doubt yourself, and you don't want to doubt yourself. So even if it's the fucking wrong decision, you're sticking to it. And that's the best thing that he's told me.
can
Yeah,
do that.
he just told me that.
Depends
No,
what field you're in.
well, yeah, but you know, with the field that I'm in, it could be like a decision of, I'm gonna hire this guy, you know, and if he could be the worst guy ever, you're gonna stick to it and you're gonna try to mold this person, because if you go back, you know, there's times that you obviously have to like, oh, you know, that was the wrong decision, like let me retreat myself. But if it's not harmful to anyone else, then you stick to it, because then you're always going to be doubting yourself.
I like that though. It's kind of like when you take a test, they say when you go back and change your ansers, you usually change it to the wrong. You had the first answer correct, and you usually change it to the wrong
So
answer.
he told me that, and I feel like that kind of helped out a little, because I don't, you know, if whenever they make me decide anything, I'm always like, oh, hey, how about you check it out? And they're like, no, like I trust you, like you do it. And I'm like, oh, okay. So like now you have this pressure, but it's like no, like, and why did you do that? Oh, well, because this and that. Okay, cool, and they don't question you anymore, and it's over. You know.
I like that though, having like evidence to back up your decisions though. Like why'd you do this? Because like you said, this and that.
Yeah.
I agree. You know what I was gonna say is that you know how you said you have a little bit of imposter syndrome. Sometimes I feel like I don't know the term though. It's like when you're successful, I feel successful. So when it's like when we go shopping and you spend money, what is that? I remember I used to say it all the time. Oh, I'm living through you in a sense.
Oh man,
how is it called?
Living vicariously.
Vicariously. Oh my goodness, I was trying to find the word. And you know what? I think that I have that. I do that a lot.
That's why you should surround yourself with good people.
No, maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I should surround myself with people because I feel like I'm successful. You're a vet tech. I'm a vet tech. You're a what is it called? The dental hygienist. I'm a dental hygienist. But as a chef, I'm a chef.
You feel like I think because you are always such like you're rooting for other people that when other people are successful and happy, you feel like you're like happy.
I think
and you can like enjoy with them and their success.
I agree because then I was thinking like I've always never felt like less than you guys. I've always felt like
Equal.
Yeah.
I'm equal. I've never felt like that, and I don't have a career. I feel like I've always been like directionless in life. Like I always am like, oh, what am I gonna do? What should I do? But I've never felt less than, and I think it's because of that. I live vicariously through you guys with all listening to you guys. I'm like, oh yeah, I feel like I can relate here.
I feel like because you've been through all of our lives, through like the beginning of Diana's career, you were there. You struggle with her, you know, through Hella's career. Like we were like going out and feeding her. Like
you helped me study. Like
you too struggled, you know. And with mine, you were there too, and we struggled together. So it's like
you've been through the start of everything up until our like final point. If this is our final,
you know. So, but now that we're all good, you know, we're there. Like with Hella.
Textbook definition.
Did you get the thing I sent you on Instagram? I sent you this thing, and it was like. Here, let me pull it up, but I don't know, I'm just always so happy and so proud of my sister that she is where she's at, and I saw this thing and
I'm over here like I don't want to do this anymore. It's so funny though because you can look at someone and be like they're there,
yeah, and you're like no,
we're like oh, I want to do something else.
So it goes like this. It's like this meme thing. It's like I hate hearing must be nice because when I was pulling those 16 to 20 day and hours and was all sleeping and you being with your family, I was grinding thinking about myself. It must be nice like them sleeping but you're grinding, and now that you're out there spending money, you know, people are like, oh, must be nice to have like a husband that does this,
or like must be nice to like have 3-day weekends every weekend.
Yeah, but like they don't like, where were they when you were like sleeping in the car between shifts or to school, you know, like
that's very true.
So I sent it to you and then I said thought of you when I read this one, and I forwarded it to you.
I haven't opened it.
She hasn't opened it, but it's one of those things, you know, where you're successful and people around you helped you through it. You know, I feel like it's okay for them, like for Monica, to feel like part of her success. And I feel like she enjoys from it, you know, because you guys take her. Everybody takes out Monica to eat or Starbucks. She's always there, you know?
I think
because she was there from the beginning.
Yeah, but isn't that like, that adds to my anxiety. I'm like, maybe I should do more. Like, am I like wasting away? Because in Reddit, if you look at Reddit, there's like this thing called like, it's I don't know, Reddit helps you a lot. If I go in there, I love Reddit. Yeah, so I went in there, I think it was back in, I don't even know, back then. I went in there and wrote, oh, I feel like I have no direction in life. And there were so many people that could relate. Yeah, I love Reddit
because people fucking
even in like
give you direction.
I'm part of this like girls group on Facebook, and even there like girls will be like, help please, I've been doing this job for 10 years and I'm miserable and I want something different, and then all the comments will be all these girls saying like same
thing.
So I think you're in a very blessed position where the world is your oyster. You can do anything. You haven't invested thousands of dollars into any specific degree or school or anything like that, and you can do anything you want.
And that's what I always tell her, because she's always like, oh, I want to work. And I tell her, I'll say, Monica, you're not worthy of a 9 to 5 job. You deserve so much more. And that's my...
And this is me not complaining, by the way.
No, I know.
I'm very blessed.
This is me like preaching to her that she has so much talent that why is she going to be stuck at a desk or wherever, working for somebody else's dream when she could be working for her own dream, you know, because she's so talented. Like, she's like, babe, I need a new camera for this, or I need a new light, or I need the YouTube or this program or whatever, you know, for her YouTube stuff. And I was like, well, then order it.
But the reason why I was saying about working was because I felt like I needed to create some kind of routine for myself, because I don't have a routine. Well, I kind of do, but I don't. So I can do whatever I want in the day, but I feel like if I have, since I'm so directionless, I kind of need like structure. That's what I was going with the whole job thing. But she was like, no. And then we're in the middle, we're kind of moving. So I was like, oh, I don't know. So that brings me anxiety to think like I have all this time. I don't know what to do with
this.
Yeah,
so
like
I'm structure.
But you also have to remember that you're like a 20% of your life, you know. So you still have that 80% to pursue whatever you want to do.
If
you shouldn't rush it.
Crazy
yeah, I mean, I hope to God that nothing happens to us. You know, but
we might be at 90% and we don't even know.
You know, that I was having
true.
I was having like this dream last night, and for whatever reason, and we were at like this funeral from this basketball player that just passed away, and he was talking to his daughter saying like, yay, we're together, let's go play ball, whatever. And then he looked at me and said, oh, just so you know, you're next. And I was like, what? And like when I left my house, it was like, oh, this is the day that I die. And like, this happened last night, right? And then this morning we saw like 4 or 5 like
even as we were coming over here, ambulances.
Ambulances, ambulances, like just like that. And like
and then I was like, persínate, córrele. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, because I didn't tell her what I dreamed, you know. I was dreaming that, and it was like, and like it just felt like, oh shit, you know. So I was really cautious. It was just weird.
You know, I've had something similar like that happen where I don't know why I woke up and I was like, I'm gonna die today. And while I was driving on the freeway under the tunnel on the 10, like I felt like I was outside of my body, and it was like the weirdest feeling. And I was like, oh fuck, like I'm gonna die today. It was a really weird feeling, but I didn't have a dream to go with it. But or when you guys have had friends pass away, right? Have you? Or
not close friends. I had just my friend's mom that passed away, but I can't say that I had like people. Like, I know people that passed away from like friends, or you know, but like that it's like immediate. No, I haven't.
Okay, because I mean I'm really young, but I've had a lot of friends die that were like my age that we went to school with. I've had about like 4 friends that I can think of die. 2 committed suicide. 1 was in Mexico, and she had like a rollover accident in one of those little like quads. But like a few hours before she died, she posted on her Instagram, and I was like looking at her story and like reacted to it like with laughing faces. And the next thing you know, she's dead. And when that happened, like just for like a month afterwards, I kept thinking like I can die any minute. Like it scared me, because I'm like, we were the same age, we went to the same high school, like why her and not me?
Well, but you also have to think like what she was doing, like her, you know, anything can happen to you at any time, but like if I don't know, they always say like no tienes nada seguro más que la muerte. You are born, and then what's next? Death, you know.
Yeah.
And everything in between is just a blessing.
But I get like what is it called? Existentialism. I can't say that word. When I'm laying there in bed, like at
fucking
midnight,
start thinking.
No, that's
I'm like,
bad.
Oh no, like my sisters are gonna die.
Get out of that?
Like Monica, Diana's eventually gonna die. I'm gonna die. Like, but I start going crazy.
So I do have those. I get those a lot, right? And then I tell myself, you have to just learn to be okay with it, because if you're not okay with it and you fucking do pass away for whatever reason, is your soul gonna just wander? You're gonna be like with like not wanting to die, and
I'm gonna haunt you guys.
Yeah, please do.
So it's one of those things where you just have to accept it, and once you do it, you're just gonna be like relief, and that's one of the things that's like a for sure thing, you know. And it's I hear, I don't know, they say when you read books, like death is a beautiful thing, you just have to learn to like, you know, but you have. My thing is not death. My thing is the people around me. Like, what are they gonna do without me? That's my fear, and that's where I stressed about. Like, what is my wife gonna do if anything happens, or you know? Yeah. But it's one of those things you just have to learn to like
just accept and deal with.
Things that could help with your mental health. You could always get like professional help. if you don't have the money, then go talk to Monica or go find yourself a Monica, you know? Like,
like a friend.
Like a friend, you know. Go.
Don't talk to me, please, because I will not respond. I'll tell you that right now.
But like, you know, like Stephanie goes over to the house and then she talks to Monica, and you know, like Diana goes to Lupe and talks to her. Monica and I talk to each other. So it's one of those things like we have to have like find in your village, if you don't have one, then find someone that it's willing to listen.
Or even like Monica said, post it on Reddit.
Oh, I think
Reddit
I think going back
helps.
to like Reddit and stuff, social media, man. I don't care. Yeah, you can ignore the internet and stuff, but or like not be on whatever because you're on it for like the wrong reasons or something too much on it. But in a way, it is very therapeutic. I definitely think that social media.
You also have to find a way to stay positive. You know, positivity is another one, and you can stay if you want to be on the internet. You can be physically active, try to help others, try to sleep, rest, you know, enough
I find,
hours.
like what you're saying with the helping others, like me, sometimes I'm just like, I hate my job, like I don't want to do this anymore. And then I'll do volunteer events, like once a year we do cleanings at the state fair for everyone, you know, low income usually is who we do, but and when I do that, I'm like, I love this. Like, I find that my job is very satisfying when I'm at the Cass homeless clinic helping there.
I totally agree.
It's just so much satisfying when you're helping, and it's just like,
and it's not for money.
Good. Yeah.
When I get those clients that, you know, they have like no money, I'll be straight up with them. I'm like, okay, it's going to be about maybe $300-$400 to treat your puppy. How much do you have? Like, we're talking about money now here. And like, they're kind of like, okay, like I only have like $100. And I'm like, okay. Sometimes they say they have nothing. I'm like, okay, let me see what I can do. But at the end, like, it's like, okay, I've tried my best here. I've tried to help this animal. And for the most part, I have helped this animal. Me and the doctor have definitely helped this animal. And sometimes it just, you know, you felt like you've done everything you can and hopefully helped that person feel like they've done everything they can.
And that's when it feels like the best.
It feels good.
I feel like that's when I feel happiest. Like sometimes
I feel like helping the less.
I think everyone should like. We're really bad at going out and doing like. I'm so glad Lorena got us to go out and do like the feeding the homeless event. It like refueled my passion for like community involvement. And then it just like you go back to work and you go back to your like 9 to 5 and your own responsibilities, and you forget to like go out there and do things.
With that, I feel like you have to find yourself to do it on your not on a like every day, but you know, twice a week, even if it's like buying a stranger a coffee or you know like
doing the what is it called?
Paying it forward.
Yeah, paying it forward.
So we were at Chipotle, and this was a while back, and there was an officer in front of me and in back of us, and she was ordering her food. And then I pay for my stuff, and then I said, can you just please, you know, cover hers too, but just don't tell her. And we paid, and I left. I was leaving, and then he's like, oh, the lady's like, oh, you know, she paid for your meal, whatever. And the lady, oh my God, blah, blah. And it's one of those things where, you know, this officer, you know, she's risking her life, and she's trying to protect the community, and all you can do is just buy her a meal, and she's just so happy. And who knows, maybe she pulls somebody over that, you know, it was something silly and they can't afford that ticket, and she lets them go, and it's, you know, it's just paying it forward and doing all that stuff. But I find myself doing that a lot, even when I don't have enough money in my wallet. I find still doing it, and it's like, do you really want to continue doing that? But I feel like the more you help others, it helps me mentally. Like I feel more sane, and I feel like my mental health is kind of leveled out, and it's not, you know, it's not always about money, but money helps to take care of other people.
That's true.
That is true.
That's a really good point with the money, because I feel like a lot of the times we like work and we risk our mental health for the money, and at the end of the day it's like, is this money even worth it?
Yeah. I saw this thing on this post, and it was like this little kid, and it had a chart. It had two charts. One of them was money, and it was at 0, and one of them was time, and it was 100%. And then he was like a teenager, and like time was still like 90%, 98%, and money was like, you know, his allowance like 10%. And then when, you know, on his 20s now, he's having a little bit more money and then a little bit less time. And when he's an adult, he has like a good amount of money, and you know, he has a good amount of time. And then they show him when he's old and he has a lot of money, like 100% money, and like
a little bit
5% of time. Yeah. Wow. So it's one of those things where you have to kind of like like right now this is a time where we have to enjoy ourselves, and we have
Yeah.
to be able to, you know, go out there with your parents. You know, if you don't spend enough time with your parents, you know, it might be their mental health that they need help with, and go out there and, you know, they're probably like at the end of the road, and they're, you know, wondering, whoa, I could have spent more time with my kids. And if you're blessed enough to have your parents and they're good to you, you know, you go out there and you take care of them as well.
Or like for me, like you guys know, I take Fridays off every week, so
Yeah.
I could work Fridays, like if I wanted to, and make an extra like $300. But at the end of the day, I'm like, I'm gonna be so much more stressed, so much more drained. Like to me, that extra money, it doesn't really buy the mental health that I need. It's not worth the stress.
That's how I feel about bonuses.
Yeah, it's like
I'm like, God, if it's gonna be stressful and I'm just gonna be like on my feet all day, running
To
around
hit
with
this
the chicken
number.
to hit this number to make corporate happy or whatever, I don't want it.
Yeah.
I don't fucking want the bonus. I'm always playing around because like if there's like a piece of something left, and I'm like, oh, don't throw that away. It's gonna help us like save money for our bonus. Yeah, like be petty.
That's funny. I do that too at work. Like if somebody's scraping like a pan of potatoes or something,
yeah.
and they're like, hey, your money, your allowance, kind of put it back in there, and they just kind of laugh about it. But it's the same thing, you know.
I was like, no, save everything because of our bonus. Oh no. But then I'm like, we're not going to work in 7 people in like a 5-hour span and kill me.
Yeah,
Like,
it's just
no.
like how much
Yeah.
does money really buy happiness?
Yeah,
Like how
no.
how important? Yes, like you said, money does help you help others, help yourself. It does help you like have good health because you can afford to go to the dentist, the hospital, you know, all this stuff. But past a certain point, I think money's just it's like valueless.
Money comes and goes.
Yeah.
Was
Exactly.
it Jim
Shitty
Carrey?
time.
Jim Carrey that said something like that. Like money's not.
I love Jim Carrey.
Yeah, because he.
I know he's going through shit, but
I'm so scared
he's a
that
good
one day
soul.
he's gonna be like
he's been through shit.
yeah. I'm
I feel
scared
like
he's gonna be one of those.
So
I
suicidal.
won't say it. Yeah,
because
but yeah.
he
Robert, ¿cómo se llama?
oh my gosh, I know who you're talking about.
The
voice of
Williams
Aladdin?
guy, whatever. Yeah.
Robert Williams? No.
Yes, yes, I
that's
think
him.
so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Happiest person.
Movies out there, people that show. It's kind of like what we're telling you, like, oh, this girl has a perfect body. Yeah, she has. You know, this person was a comedian. He was funny, but he was just not there. You know, he wasn't being held mentally.
And Jumanji was my favorite.
Yeah.
Jumanji.
Robin Williams, no?
Oh,
Robin Williams,
You're
thank
I don't
right.
remember his name.
No, you got it.
They're gonna murder us for that mistake.
But anyways,
It's been a long day, guys.
I was watching, I think it was like a snippet from Joe Rogan, and he was talking with a guy, and they were talking about the money stuff and the I made it. And Joe Rogan was saying how like some of these big guys like Jeff Bezos, how technically like
Yeah.
they've made it, right? Like
Yeah.
they're there. But look at him, he's going through divorce, like
Yeah.
all this stuff. Like even
how happy can you be?
you can be
Yeah.
the wealthiest person in the world and still not be happy.
Yeah.
So like that's like what I try to like remind myself when I'm stressed about like bills and money.
I agree.
I'm like, you know what, these
That
bills
helps
are gonna
me.
get paid
Yeah,
eventually.
I agree.
This too shall pass.
This
Just
too
too
shall pass. That's
The
so
collections.
true.
Yeah, I don't do my bills. Monica takes care of them. So like I literally get home and I give her my payroll, our payroll, and I say, here you go, babe. This is what the number you have to work with, and then she deals with it. So all I have to worry about is making sure I'm at work, working, clocking in and clocking out, and she
Perfect.
takes care of the other half. And I feel like it worked out so beautiful. We've been doing it for a couple of years like that already.
Yeah, I think 3.
3 years. The reason why I decided doing this, it was because I was at work and I was like stressed about it, and like I would want to leave early, and then it was like, no, you can't leave because you have like to get more money for blah blah blah. And I was like, this is not the right way. Like I'm not doing any good to the company by trying to stay an hour later to pay a bill that is like
Yeah.
they don't fucking care, you know.
Yeah.
And then I was like, no, Monica should like do this. And one of my, at the time I had a 2018 Honda Accord, and was it that car? We towed it to the house because something happened to it. No, it was another vehicle. It was couple. I think it was
It's
like
a
2017.
Another stressful
Hyundai.
thing.
Hyundai. What is it
Cars
called?
Yeah.
are so stressful
It
to me.
Yes.
we
yes.
we drove it to the house in a tow truck because something happened to it, and then the driver was telling me that his wife does all the bills, and that's, I was like, oh my god. He's like, yeah. He's like, she just gives me money to spend, and I don't have to worry about anything. He's like, she gives me money for my hobby, and then that's all I care. She's retired already. She takes care of everything. She has her own pension and everything, but this works for me. And I was like, oh, I wonder if this worked for me. And I thought about it, and I got home and I told Monica, like, hey, you know, like, I think this would be better for us. And she's like, okay, yeah. So I taught her how to do like our bills,
Yeah.
and now she's just like,
there was a couple hiccups at the beginning, but it's okay.
Yeah, because I would like, if Diana didn't pay me for whatever bill, I would go after her. You know, I would
like the
go.
shark.
Yeah, I was like, hey, you need to pay me, and she's like, well, I don't have it, or she like knows how to pull my tail. She's like, no, I don't have it, and I knew she did, and she wouldn't want to give me the money.
Annoying.
Yeah, so then like Monica didn't understand why, and then as soon as I gave her the money, like Monica would go after her. I'm like, well, that's
good.
Your problem.
Yeah.
That's your problem now. Like, I'm good, you know?
That's a really smart tip, actually.
Yeah.
I
So
like that a lot.
she would take care of the bills, and it's worked wonderfully with us. And it's, I mean, if you're married with someone and that person doesn't work or whatever, you know,
Make them do the bills.
Make them do the bills. It's,
Yeah.
I mean, you have to trust them though. You know, like, my boss told me too. He's like, for all I know, my wife could just be putting money to the side for whatever amount of years, you know, and yeah, and you wouldn't know, and I wouldn't know because I trust Monica 100%. You know, I just
Monica, hot tip.
Yeah, right there.
Here's the bills. Here's the money for the bills. Here you go. You enjoy. And she would give me my money to spend, and I don't even go into the bank account until she asked me, like, hey, can you check how much money did it come out or not? But that. I don't. I mean, my hands are, here you go, and my eyes are fucking sealed. Like,
and that's one less stress you have to worry about.
Yeah, and knowing that, you know, Monica, you could trust her to do fucking pay everything, because she's the one she's the master brains behind us paying our debt.
And I kind of
right
made that my own thing, and that's like something for me to do every 2 weeks. Like, I look forward to that.
You do?
Yeah, I really do.
I know I do. I remember back like in my early 20s, I would like cry over bills. Now I remember there was a point where I had like so much credit card debt, and it wasn't that much compared to how everybody is out there in the world. It's actually funny now, those numbers. But I would be like, I remember I just got to the point where I was like, fuck this, I don't care anymore. And I sent everybody to collections. Everybody went to collections,
Oh
everybody.
Yeah.
And now that she's doing better, people are like, hey, remember me?
Nope, they're about to be dropped this year.
Wow.
That's good.
Yeah, Alex and I, he's in charge of like, he's the organized one, so he's in charge of most of our bills, and then I'm in charge of just 2. And I forgot to pay the water bill the other day.
Oh my god!
Like, they don't charge you a lot of. It's like
They
pennies.
didn't charge us anything.
Yeah, it's like 2 pennies.
But I was just like, I mean, and I was so embarrassed. Like, I wanted to write them a letter. Like, I swear I had the money. I just forgot to pay the bill.
I've known people that have not paid their water bill in a year. They like pay little pennies here and there every so often just to keep it on.
What? That's crazy.
That was a long time ago. I know. I knew somebody. I definitely knew somebody that lasted a long time.
I remember you told me that, and I was like, that's crazy. Like, how? How do you do that?
But anyway, we should start wrapping up really quick, since we talked a lot about stress, anxiety, all kinds of mental health stuff.
Oh, can I say that I love yoga.
Yoga?
Yeah,
I was going to ask, like, what do you do to
big
de-stress?
stress reliever.
What do you like, hot yoga?
Hot yoga I like, but I use that one more as a workout. But regular Ashtanga, I think I call it. Ashtanga is called.
Oh,
yoga.
You took me to one of those classes.
Wasn't that good?
Oh, yeah. I was having such severe neck pain. When I was driving, I couldn't look at my mirror to see if there was a car behind me, because if I turned, after I took that class, it fixed it completely.
Really? I didn't know that
Just that one class.
Wow. And you really stretched.
Yeah.
That's
I
good.
love that. So yoga.
What's yours, Ella?
Me, like you mentioned that your coworkers, the gym.
Yeah.
Like, I just feel so good.
Working out does help out.
Yeah.
It
Especially
does.
like
I'll admit.
when
facials. I get facials too.
masks. What kind of
You guys are
facials?
expensive.
I know. It's
that's
expensive.
Yeah.
I do. I go with my esthetician, but like she gives me a massage, and it's just
It's like
amazing.
yoga class, $40. Facials, $60.
I live an expensive life.
I have this thing where if I'm not at the gym working now, because like right now I want to go work out, but it's just like my period. But I do have a coloring book that Monica got me with coloring pencils, and I love coloring when I'm like really stressed out, or if I don't take out the book to color, Tetris.
Tetris?
I play Tetris just because you're sitting there and all you have to worry about is making sure.
Tetris.
Yeah, I have it on my phone, and all you have to make sure is to put the parts in the right part and just get them like out of your way and disappear and get your points. And that is so relaxing for me. And all you can't think of anything else because you're like, fuck, where am I going to put this piece? You know? So that's also helps out. And then I also use TikTok. Monica, we sat down and we laid down.
Social media.
We sat down. Well, we laid down.
You guys do it together, though.
Yeah.
It's not like you're just scrolling there by yourself.
I usually like put my leg around her. I hug her, and I have like my face by her ear, and we're just laughing and try not to laugh so hard because her ear, but she's just scrolling down, and that's like us spending some time together and just kind of like
downtime.
Yeah, some downtime, but we have to kind of like not be us there as much because we get kicked out now. I used to get kicked out.
No, they just kind of say like, "Oh, stop scrolling because you've been on here for too long." Like little. No, but some people just do that, and then it happens to be the hour mark that we've been scrolling.
Because I used to get kicked out of like Instagram, like it will like shut down.
Do you guys watch your screen time on your phones?
No, I don't want to even look at it.
See, because I've gotten so much better at that because I'm like, I am on this phone way too much. There's no way this is good for like my
your
mental
eyesight,
health,
everything.
Well, my hands from work already hurt, and then I'm like using my thumb to scroll.
Then use your other hand.
You should get manicures. You should get manicures for your like massage, like hand massage.
I thought about it. Hey, I could do that for my stress.
Or you make enough money to
facial.
She makes enough money to hire someone to like scroll for her.
Oh my god!
You should have your dog scroll her.
When you were saying though how you guys sit together and scroll, Alex and I at the end of the night, it's just our routine. Like I'll go wash my face, whatever. He makes us tea. I like sleepy time tea, and he has like some kind of herbal like fruit tea. And we like put YouTube on, and we bring up these like cinematic videos. It'll be like Iceland or Switzerland, Germany, like these really beautiful videos with like really calming music, and we just sit there and sip our tea, and it's like the most de-stressing, relaxing thing.
That makes your bond stronger.
Yeah, we just sit there and like we're just sitting with each other. It's like it's just nice to
see,
to
babe.
have that.
They're more mature than us. We're like they're in TikTok.
You're so funny.
We're watching Renegade.
Yeah, but you're so comedic. I feel like that's why you like it.
Yeah.
And sometimes, trust me, I don't like comedy as much. So I want to scroll up, and she's like, no, wait.
Let me see.
I'm like, fine.
What do you do, Monica?
No.
What do you mean? What do I do?
For like just to de-stress.
What do I do? I clean. Starbucks. Yeah. Well,
Your journal. She likes to like fill up their daily journal.
Yeah, I do journal a little bit.
She does it so good.
Is it a bullet journal or just regular?
No, have you ever done the thing where when you wake up, you just write what you dreamed of? Like it's called a brain dump, actually. When you feel so overwhelmed, you just do a brain dump. Like you just write down everything that's in your brain, and then after that, you just feel so like, I like to do that.
I like that.
Yeah. So when you're feeling overwhelmed for some reason, or you don't know what's going on and you feel funky, do a brain dump. Just do a brain dump, and you'll see that you'll feel so relaxed.
I'm gonna try that.
Yeah, do a brain dump and everything, and then go back and read it. And don't make it perfect. It just write
whatever you're thinking at the time,
and then go back and read it and be like, "What the fuck is in my brain?" Yeah, but that's kind of what I do. That's it.
One more thing I do real quick, and then we can do any like last thoughts. I like been trying really hard to eat healthy because I've noticed when I eat greasy and when I eat bad, I just feel like so down and so unhealthy. And when I have good food, I just like
because you're feeding your mind.
Yeah, I noticed that it really impacts like my mental health is what I'm eating.
Yeah.
Hey, and I saw you were making smoothies on your Instagram.
I've seen this cup there. It looks really sexy.
I love seeing that cup because I gave her that mug.
That mug you gave me, Alex was like, I like this mug, so he started using it now.
I was like, funny.
That's mug.
You're gonna have to show it.
It's like a see-through mug.
Yeah. Those things. Yeah.
It's from World Market. It's only $3.99. You can get it.
I found out there at Walmart.
Are they really? Mm-hmm. Well, I got it for her from World Market, so
Just saying that.
So the good takeaway from here is to take care of yourself. You are valuable to someone. If you aren't here, who will they turn to? So make sure you are taking care of yourself. Make sure you're loving yourself. Pamper yourself. Be kind to yourself. Love yourself.
Masturbate.
Diana.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna go into it.
So
but
please take care of yourself. Love each other, and make sure you take care of your mental health always.
Okay, thanks for joining us, guys.
We'll see you later.